Women must recognize that the impact of the Me Too movement has been predominantly negative rather than positive for all women, particularly those who are employed. It is crucial to shift the perception that women are always the victims. The injustice of granting women the ability to falsely accuse men and potentially ruin their lives through the legal system has gone too far. Men now find themselves avoiding interactions with women in the workplace out of fear of baseless accusations or threats. Consider the profound psychological consequences a boy would endure when falsely accused of assault by a group of girls. Despite his innocence, he would experience the weight of an ankle monitor and the feeling of being used, abused, and exploited not just by the girls, but also by the school administration, the justice system, and society as a whole.
Moving to girls at work and doing all these things before, it's become a very dangerous play for men. And I don't recommend anybody trying to chat to another girl at workplace. It's very, but this is where you used to meet your wives before, but now this is where you catch your case and you ruin your career. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Because something before that was seen as how you met your wife now can be, listen, we spoke about it here, so I just keep putting it out to men. And my job here as the man and voice is to let you know about the pitfalls. Look how far ahead I think. Sometimes when I'm talking about why we shouldn't take single mothers and we shouldn't date women with children, and I'm talking about the future, I talk about so many different aspects. I even spoke, and then people that, why are you thinking about that? Because as a man, that's what you're supposed to do. We don't think of emotion, we go off logic. And if you really want to be successful and high value, whatever you want to call it, you need to start planning and mitigating scenarios and looking into the risk and stuff like that. Because if not, you're going to be one of these men that catches L, and then who's going to feel sorry for you?
Men actively avoid private conversations and interactions with their female coworkers. They express significant fear of being alone with a woman in the workplace. These sentiments were revealed in the study's primary research, which asked men how they would feel if they found themselves in an office setting alone with a woman. The primary factor behind this reluctance is the fear of being falsely accused by women, which could jeopardize their employment. Men are cautious about losing their jobs due to unfounded allegations. Nowadays, it is remarkably effortless for women to have a man terminated from his position. All it takes is a single email, phone call, or conversation with human resources or the school administration. In the current climate, until innocence is proven, one is automatically assumed guilty. Men dread the possibility of being accused of workplace harassment, even if it is untrue, as it could lead to immediate termination, along with the lasting damage to their professional reputation and self-esteem. This significant advantage that women hold over men in the workplace should come as no surprise. Consequently, it is unsurprising that men express reluctance to hire women for positions involving intimate connections, such as business travel. Furthermore, men show hesitancy to hire women who are considered attractive by societal standards. In earlier studies, men exhibited greater comfort interacting with women in office settings. In contrast, the more recent surveys revealed that more men expressed reduced willingness to recruit women for roles requiring close interpersonal interactions. Men now prefer working with other men rather than women. These findings demonstrate the growing wariness among males towards women, particularly in the past decade. It emphasizes their preference for communicating, sharing ideas, and coordinating schedules with other male colleagues in cubicles, meetings, and boardrooms.
Me avoiding ignoring females at work. The nice old lady at work every day. Hey, handsome.
This stems from their apprehension of jeopardizing the successful careers they have painstakingly built over a significant period. A single baseless accusation could result in the loss of everything they have worked so hard for. In a society where women's words hold significant weight and are often unquestioningly believed, one false allegation can instantly cast men as the villain. Therefore, it is unfair to blame men for their cautiousness, as they have observed the repercussions that unfolded over the years, particularly with the emergence of the Me Too movement. Men simply do not want to bear responsibility for something they did not commit. They are determined to safeguard their jobs, social status, and position in society. It is crucial to note that men are not the sole ones fearful of women. Women themselves seem to exhibit a reluctance to hire other women in general. Over 10% of women express diminished likelihood of hiring attractive women. This trend may be attributed to society's tendency to place greater trust in attractive females, thanks to popular culture's influence. In movies and television series, regardless of their era, the leading characters are typically the most physically appealing women. They are portrayed as virtuous beings who uphold justice, while the antagonists are often depicted as aged, repulsive men.
Stay away from women at your job. It is not worth it. This is how a lot of guys are getting screwed. Girls at your job? Hell no. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how many choosing signals she's giving me. We are not doing it. My money and women are going to be away from each other. No. You might think she flirting with you and she just being nice. Just don't risk it. All booty is not good booty. Even if you do start sleeping with her, you're sleeping with each other in the break room, all this stuff. It's so exciting, and that relationship fizzles out or it ends abruptly. And now the girl is upset about it. She can get you to lose your job. It's not worth the hassle, bro.
It should come as no surprise that both men and women hesitate to consider hiring attractive women. The reason is that if a woman were to falsely accuse a man, society would automatically assume her story to be true. It is widely observed that when a guy attempts to flirt with an attractive woman, it is often misconstrued as harassment, as it has been the norm. Dealing with the issue of harassment poses a tremendous challenge for men. Innocent jokes made among male colleagues could be wrongly interpreted as harassment, even when not directed at anyone in particular. Consequently, they may find themselves subjected to HR investigations and relentless questioning. Men are cautious about shaking hands with women due to the fear that it might be perceived as harassment. It becomes easier for them to avoid physical contact altogether. The study's comprehensive debunking of the notion that men lack an understanding of what constitutes inappropriate behavior is particularly fascinating. Researchers examined 19 different acts to determine their classification as harassment. Sending explicit emails to subordinates serves as an example. Both genders largely agree on the definition of harassment, and a significant majority of men and women are aware of what it entails. If anything, women tend to define harassment more broadly than men. Most men can differentiate between an affectionate hug and an unwelcome one, as they are fully aware of what constitutes harassment. On the other hand, from a woman's perspective, any action can be perceived as harassment. For instance, if a line manager asks a subordinate or junior team member to work late at the office for an hour, she can create a scenario in which they are captured on CCTV cameras, interacting and discussing project instructions. She can then fabricate a story about how the manager was attempting to harass her. And you know what? HR would believe the woman. It is understandable that males would choose to avoid situations where they could potentially face career-threatening problems, leading to their exclusion. Women have begun to protest against this exclusion, as they are no longer expected to work tirelessly on projects until the early hours of the morning, knowing that their professional positions are secure. Instead, people tend to ask men to stay late and collaborate with them. Moreover, women are often excluded from private sessions where crucial information is discussed. For instance, if I had to share something with a coworker in a small conference room, I would prefer to choose a male companion, as I am aware that inviting a woman into such a confined space may raise eyebrows, not only in America, but also in Europe, England, and other parts of the world. The consequences of the Me Too movement are still reverberating in the corporate sector. As long as there are overreactions to the movement and baseless accusations against men, as frequently highlighted in the media, males will continue to shy away from working with women. Consequently, the Me Too movement has not achieved significant progress beyond widening the gender gap and causing organizations to become more cautious about hiring women for office positions. Employers now exercise greater care, understanding that hiring women may result in a workforce that hesitates to interact with them, fearing accusations of harassment or being labeled as inappropriate. Additionally, there is an increasing number of men who are already cautious when approaching women, given the continued strength of the Me Too movement. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell. Remember to like and share the video, champs. Thank you for watching.